DTZ Entertainment Presents Coffee Bar Stories, a talk show adjacent comedy podcast with your three hosts, Dad, Son, and Bubba. Live from the Coffee Bar, it's your DTZ News.
Welcome to DTZ News. I'm your host Bubba, and today here's what's on the bulletin. The answer to our commercial game, some exciting news, we're going to talk a little about our current episode structure, and finally, some news for Dad's podcast, Stories That Are Made Up.
The answer to the commercial game last time, the real commercial was the, I can't remember the company name, but it was the cocaine toothache drops. Dr. Ted's dimethyltryptamine pills was the fake commercial. I'm really proud of that one, to say so myself. I'm not going to lie, I'm actually really proud of that one. I'm actually kind of shocked that the cocaine toothache drops was a real thing. But to move on to the next thing, our exciting news. Yeah, we are actually working on a website now to put out there. Currently working on it. It should go live sometime soon. When it does go live, it'll be announced on the Facebook page and all of that. And then we'll also start doing a little shout out to it in the episodes and then having the episode description as well. The website, once we're finished with it, I think we're going to plan on doing some type of blog thing. Maybe some background stuff from DTZ will go on there every once in a while when we write up a post. And then also, you can start going there to get the most recent episodes of both Coffee Bar Stories and Stories That Are Made Up. You can listen to like the most 5 recent episodes from each, and then we have a few other things that are to be determined to be worked out. And then what else was on the agenda after that?
Our whack-ass show structure.
Yeah, we all kind of agreed while prepping to record that the structure of the episodes, they've kind of got, it's chaos. We
had started out trying to change it more from last season. We did want to try to make sure there was always a story and everything included. We decided to start making stories, actually, like commercials and ads and stuff, and start bringing more of a variety of things instead of it being beginning, middle, and end type deal. Just kind of, I don't know, I guess it'd be like a variety show, so to speak.
For the most part, that
we
works
started
out well.
building with freelance, and then it's become something that's morphing into more than just that at this point. Some things will drop and some things will be added. I don't know. We may end up coming up with a whole new name for this type of show by the time we end up finishing it all.
Yeah, and to be honest, even the next season, if we end up deciding, okay, we find out our structure and it continues on through season 2, come season 3, we might even have a completely different structure after that too. So it all just depends.
Ever evolving.
Yeah, we don't know what we're really doing at this point.
I believe I believe our way is more at this point come for the ride, because you don't know what's going to happen next type deal. This is pretty much what I can tell you. As far as I'm saying something to somebody, I'd be like, it's just a mixture of goofball things these guys do.
Mixed bag.
Yeah, and I like it like that, to be honest, of the content worth, because you never know what's going to come on. It's exciting, but I feel like we need to come up with some type of structure. Yeah. And while we're evolving through this ever so chaos that we've created, hopefully we come up with some sort of pseudo structure at this point.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
And then for the next topic, we had Dad's podcast has some news. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, on the Stories That Are Made Up, the 6th episode has come out, and that is the 4th part of the Rise to Godfather story. It is the Reckoning. It is the end of the Godfather series, I guess, is what it turned into. And now I will be doing one more that's be episode 7. It's going to be like a space story. It's in the works at the moment, and that's going to be the season ending story, because I got some things I'm going to try to restructure for the new season. Go on a hiatus with the show for about 2 months maybe. I'm not sure, maybe not even longer than that, and bring back a new season with a different structure. But I will have released more information about how the structure is going to change slightly and everything for it.
All right, cool.
And I'd also like to put that though the Coffee Bar Stories episode structures are complete chaos, that does not reflect the same way on the Stories That Are Made Up. Two different podcasts. Thank God they're ran completely differently from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine are, because I write my own stories and stuff. Mine are more for the stories is I can play with them and add all the sound effects and have fun with doing things like that.
Yeah,
So
they're pretty much audio dramas, right?
yeah, that's what it has become, and whether it's really good or bad or story structure. But I do know I need to do a lot of work on how I read and do things because it don't come out that great as I go along. I do a lot of editing just for it to sound okay. A lot of editing in that part. But.
Alrighty, so that ends DTZ News. So let's get on with the rest of the episode.
Here's your two dad jokes. What concert costs just 45 cents? 50 cent beats your Nickelback. When two vegans get in an argument, is it still called beef? Welcome to Coffee Bar Story Discussions with your hosts, Dad, Son, and Bubba. Today's discussion, spoof of movies, music, others.
Other forms of media, basically, yeah. So I'll kick it off with what's everyone's favorite spoof? Just movie. Make it easier at this point.
Mine's Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my favorite spoof movie has to be. Gotta give me a second. There's a couple. Let me look through them.
You can't choose a favorite.
No.
My favorite is Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs.
Oh my God, there it is. Spaceballs. I couldn't think of it. I love Spaceballs.
There's also Epic Movies, okay. But I'll tell you, a good one that's from probably the 70s or early 80s, I forget which one, is Airplane. That's a good spoof movie. If you like Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah, I like
him and his little group.
That's basically like the whole Naked Gun type of thing as well.
Yeah, I believe a lot of that is considered spoofing of the police, basically.
Yeah, kind of like a police academy.
No, more of it's like the Dragnets and police shows where they're based on realism more.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't. These were just goofballs.
If I put Meet the Spartans at first place, then the second, I don't know if it's considered a spoof, but I'm going to consider it a spoof, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I looked up like for spoofs or mimicking, I guess
Yeah.
They consider those two to be the same, and it's on there. Some of them's on there because I did make a list on like YouTube. I'm prepared for this.
My second place, and I told you I actually had him. Austin Powers, Goldfinger, Goldmember. Goldmember is one of my favorite, and I was also gonna, we'll pivot it later. Actually, I'll bring it up later. But yeah, no, Goldmember has to be one. I really like the Austin Powers films.
Well, that's
those are
good.
good.
There.
I didn't realize when I was younger that Austin Powers was a parody of James Bond because I didn't really know James Bond.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so after watching a couple James Bond movies, which I'm sad to say to anybody who likes James Bond, it's not for me. They're just
James Bond's great.
I'm Bond, James Bond, 007, Scotch, not stirred. Where is my go-to car? I'm about to shag every woman, but not shag a dog. I get it, but I don't like it. It's not for me.
Yeah, if you're not into the 007, yeah, you're definitely the spoofer. Would be better for you. You're not alone in not knowing that there's actually some movies, I ain't gonna say spoofing, but they're remakes to where it's quite a bit of change from the original for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
And stuff, people are like, oh man, it's not all that way. It's like this, and you show them and they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, kind of in that vein, Get Smart, isn't that kind of a... It's not like a parody, but kind of a parody.
Yeah, that's a parody because he's still a bumbling idiot. But they put Johnny English down as a parody. But they said he's parodying Bond.
Oh.
I can see it, yeah.
So who's parodying Bond actually then? Is it Austin Powers parodying him or is it Johnny English? Because you've seen a Johnny English one.
Yeah.
Son has. I don't know if you have,
Yes,
Bubba.
yes, I have.
Johnny
Okay,
English
I
is
used to
great.
watch it with, Duha.
And you've also seen the 007 one too.
Oh, yeah.
So you know how the comparison goes.
Yeah.
I think the Johnny English is more a comparison to 007 than
Austin Powers.
the
Austin
Austin
Powers.
Powers.
Yeah,
The
I
Austin
do too.
Powers is almost just
Hey, that one's more of an out there thing.
Yeah.
a made up spy, a famous one. He's not even a spy because a
He
spy
was-
isn't known. Johnny English is a spy. Austin Powers, how are you a spy when you're well known?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one thing they never really explained. I guess he's like their super soldier, but he's a fucking he's an idiot. He's a
Well,
fucking idiot.
well, he's not-
Borderline hero.
He fucks
guess.
everything in sight. He has
He's
horrible
not
teeth.
really he's an idiot. He's more
He has the mojo, baby.
yeah, it's more he's just more full of himself
Yeah.
Yeah.
than he is anything else. But now, ones that they started getting a series of is I kind of realized it as I was looking through and getting them. Movie called Epic Movie.
Yep.
Yep.
That's that one. Then it goes into disaster movie. Superhero movie, not another teen movie, and I was like, oh, okay, date movie.
Yeah.
Not another date movie. Not another movie. There's a lot of
Yeah,
them.
and those,
Scary movie.
Oh, we'll get to those in a second.
I
but
like
yeah.
those, but they hit on a good era. They almost had gone by at their
It's
point.
basically what I like about those era of the spoof movies is because it's basically all the stupid shit you're like, oh, if I was in this scene, this is the dumb shit I would have done instead, and it's basically that, but them actually doing the dumb shit instead of
Yeah.
that's what I like about them a lot.
Oh, there's one we gotta talk about. I don't know if Bubba's seen it, but Son watched it today with me.
Oh yeah.
Called "Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood."
No, it was Wayne brothers.
Wait, yeah, the Wayans brothers, Marlon and
What's his face? I'm sorry.
Sean and then,
Yeah, something like that. Sorry, guys.
Although it's yeah to the Wayans brothers. I'm sorry, it's the sister, the whole family basically, or well, the ones that do the In Living Color, I guess, would be all that made this movie. It's great. They
It's
took
absolutely
Boys in the
fucking
Hood.
phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, Son was cracking up because they took Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Poetic Justice, Juice, and I think Higher Learning.
Yeah.
Part of Higher Learning, and I'm watching, laughing my butt off. He's laughing too, and I'm looking at it going, this was definitely in the movie of the 90s. I remember because your guys' mother was howling when she'd seen it before I did, believe it or not. And I come over, we were dating at the time actually, and I had come over, she's like, you gotta see this movie. Your uncle, her brother, had hacked some cable, and it was like playing over and over on some channel on there. He had hacked or whatever he did back then, and I watched it, and I could not stop laughing through the whole thing. I watched it twice because I missed it. The first, I missed probably a third of it. No, I'd say just over a third of it. Not huge chunks, but a lot. It was just so funny. Them guys did the most funniest shit. Now it was, to me then, it was outrageous. I was like, holy crap.
Even though it's maybe not like a parody movie, because I don't think it's parodying anything in particular, but the movie Hot Fuzz is actually also a really...
They consider that a parody too. I've seen it on there. It's a mimicking mimicking.
Okay, because that's actually one of my favorite movies. The main character, I think, is the reason why. But you've seen Hot Fuzz, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
It's in your face. Have you ever seen Stan Helsing?
Mm-mm.
No.
That one was pretty good actually, because it's on the spoofer of Van Helsing, right? Yeah, and that one they did pretty good. I'll tell you another good one I seen that was older, back in the 80s, was called "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
Oh
it.
my God, Chris Rock is in it. Chris Rock couldn't have been. He had to honestly been in his teens, 17, 18, 19.
Everybody, yeah.
20, maybe 20, because he kind of looked like a young man for a long time. But I remember him in it and everything. It was hilarious. I didn't get all the movie spoofs it was making fun of in it,
Yeah.
because I was kind of young when I first seen it, so I didn't get it all that. But I did, as I watched it again, thought it was really funny. And another one I watched that's funnier than hell too, you guys. I know you two guys haven't watched this. Saturday the 14th.
Saturday the 14th.
No.
Yep, it's a spoof of the Friday 13th.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that one you got to. I've seen that. And I didn't know that Mel Brooks did one called Silent Movie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a spoofer. To find it, I probably have to search all over. And you know how that goes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Never forget about Spinal Tap.
I have yet to see it.
It's
And-
I've actually
spoofs
never
rock
heard of it.
band.
It's a mockumentary, basically.
Yeah, overindulged rock band. Yeah, doing
And,
what they do.
it's-
Actually, I don't know if it's really. It's just maybe just pretty much on the same line as most bands acted in reality.
Because I know another mockumentary, and it actually just came out this year, I think on November 4th. But it's Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and it's actually one of the best like parody documentary series you could ever watch. Obviously, Weird Al is like the king of parody music. I thought of them making a documentary. For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be like an actual documentary, but no. True to Weird Al, it's a parody of his life.
Oh my god.
It's the best thing. Instead of him some of it's real. The beginning of it's kind of real. How his parents didn't want him playing the accordion or something, or maybe it's he got the accordion from a salesman. One of the things is real. Throughout the movie, he ends up dating Madonna. He ends up killing a bunch of Mexican drug lords. Yeah, and then Madonna becomes the wife of the Mexican drug lord or the leader of the cartel. I can't remember which. And then at the end, he's getting an award. For the award, he originally, apparently, the beat for Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
They're claiming in the movie he wrote Eat It first, and that Michael Jackson parodied Eat It and made Beat It. And so he basically, I think he sued Michael Jackson, won, and then won or something like that, and then got an award for the song. And in the end of the movie, and I guess huge spoilers, sorry people, but in the end of the movie, he gets shot down by Madonna.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So obviously it's a parody of his life, but you have to watch it, man. It's actually really, really great. It's the best way to do a Weird Al parody movie.
Well, now they don't have to.
Oh no, they definitely can. I've explained it so poorly that you're gonna be like, nah, I gotta watch this.
All right. Well, there's also one of the ones I kind of liked and thought was funnier than hell was how they did Galaxy Quest.
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen, yeah, he was in it and stuff. Where they basically were spoofing the Star Trekkies and Star Wars. They kind of lumped.
Really?
They bounced around on maybe one or well, I know the two big Star Trek and Star Wars, but they bounced around maybe on a third one. I wasn't sure of.
Doom?
Seeing, but yeah, I thought that one was cute. I like because of the way they spoof things. I like that movie.
Yeah.
I also like the Hot Shots. That's a good one that made fun of Rambo, and then they had one that made fun of the Flying Aces and stuff. It's with Charlie Sheen and stuff in it. When Charlie Sheen was younger and could hold his drugs and alcohol better. Movies. I'd like to make one of my own, but I just don't know what type of movies I'd want to lump together to spoof on because.
Now, you want to make it on the budget level of like.
Oh, the budget level would be so low it ain't funny.
That's what I'm saying. That's
the budget
best way to
level
make
basically is what we got in our pockets at this moment. And ain't much or nothing.
I got about $90 you can work with.
The only thing is we have the equipment's about it. That's about the good thing. We have the camera, green screen, stuff like that. But other than that, we have no scripts or anything written in.
To be honest,
No props, no costumes. I mean, it's almost like watching little kids using their imagination, and you really gotta dig into what they're doing.
I kind of want to make some type of over-the-top like space. It's a space parody, but it's a James Bond space parody. Set them in space and set the dumbest agent you can possibly send in there, no tools whatsoever, and basically just try to have him infiltrate an alien overlord.
Oh my.
Yeah, and it's all for this crystal that means nothing to the aliens. To them, it's like, oh, cool, I got another one of these junk crystal things in my package. Let's just throw that in the corner.
If I were to make one, it would probably be a spoof off of the Divine Comedy, Dante's Inferno.
Now, would you make it over the top, goofy as all hell?
Yes, I would make it absolutely ridiculous, like I would like any traditional movie, any kind of spoof movie you see.
To be honest, I want to go full on YouTube poop with mine, kind of. Not the constant repeating and the constant annoyance.
Okay,
and none of the earache. I don't want that. No, thank you. But I just want the over-the-top, just stupidity that you'd get from a YouTube poop. You're talking to the character, then all of a sudden the character is upside down and on the ceiling, and all they did was cut to one character and then back to the other guy for his response, and you're like, why is he up there? Screw you. We're not giving you answers.
You want me to be honest? We probably could make one.
But,
I don't have the budget.
Well, are you gonna go with a spoof, a parody, or a mimic? I mean, the different styles of doing it, or kind of a mesh of it and making it up. I don't know.
I'd do a full-on spoof parody. That's why
'Cause,
I do
it
it.
shouldn't be hard to really write any style of those, seeing that you're taking from other people's stuff that's already existing.
Yeah.
You know, to come up with your own is 10 times harder.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'd be down to do one. Low budget as hell one. That, I mean, well, what we'd have to
Cheap-ass
do.
theatrical
Well, the
costumes.
things what we'd have to do is like for us, we'd have to do a little travel out of our area a little farther out to get some props from places like Goodwills in different areas.
I would
to find
love-
different styles of things. And
I would love for
whatnots.
one scene, say we have like monsters attacking a city. Screw getting props, screw getting even toys. Pull out the hot dog, put some sticks inside of it, draw an angry face on the hot dog, and like with this string, have it like trampling some stuff. But you have Godzilla noises in the background, like the old school Japanese, I don't know what era, but the that's the noise it's making as
Screech?
it's jumping
That would be
around.
bad.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And then you got the us just yelling in the background. Oh my God, it's Hot Dogzilla!
Yeah, that'd be something. That'd be something to put in the works.
Because we save the toys. That's our toy army monster backup force. We send
be.
them in.
Fucking G.I. Joe.
We gotta
He's a
send in
real
our super
American
soldier.
hero.
We can write the script right now. G.I. Joseph and the hot dog killer.
Now, when it comes to the some of the spoofed movies that have been made that into parts, which ones do you guys like?
What do you mean?
They have multiple parts to them. You can watch them.
Like Scary Movie 2, 3, blah blah blah.
Oh,
Mine, it definitely has to either
like-
be a Scary Movie or Austin Powers.
I just like the spoof. I've always been into the dumb stuff, so I like pretty much all the spoof movies are good. I own on DVD. I had a big collection. You know, some of them I've lost and whatnot through the years. I love all the spoof movies. Really, there's only been maybe I think the only one I don't really care for is not another movie.
Yeah.
If I'm getting it out right. Yeah, that's it. I tell you what, I do love National Lampoons when they do one, because
Oh, they
those
always do
guys, they
something
seem
great.
to, they just, National Lampoon is to me is like God when it comes to movies and stuff. They just put out anything and everything they put out. I like it. And it's stupid that they'd let, like Bubba, they'd let you write one and produce it. Let you write a show or
Right
a
then and
movie,
there.
I mean.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, them guys, they gamble on a lot. Look at them. Look how well it's paid off for them, though. The vacation series, like Dorm Days, stuff like that they make a lot of money on, too. There's a ton of those movies. Cattle Call,
Yeah.
Stone Age.
Oh yeah, Stone Age was great.
Yeah, there's tons of them that it just depends on what kind of mood you're in, really. All right, with that spoofing, I think we'll keep on and go on to the next thing.
Rella Radio Show, Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. DJ CO1.
DTZ Entertainment presents a new podcast, Stories That Are Made Up, hosted by Dad from Coffee Bar Stories. Check out a episode every 2 weeks. Now, was that a good idea? Okay, now for the story. Mr. Wise wasn't so wise. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, suspected shoplifter Jacob Wise casually removed security tags from clothes he was planning to steal from the store. The alarm went off anyway as Wise walked through the exit. Why, you ask? Apparently, Wise wasn't as wise as his name suggested. He had put the removed tags from the clothing in his pocket. Now, you ask me, I don't think that was a good idea at all to even bother with that one there. So we'll let Mr. Wise deal with crime he done. And now it's time for
Bubba's Corner.
Hey guys, do you enjoy the spooky stories of the weird, the abnormal, the unexplainable? Well, I want to show you guys into the world of SCP. SCP stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and it is an entire foundation that is above the law and above the government. Now, granted, this is fake. All of it is fake.
Yeah.
It is all made up stories, and they are all gathered in one place called the SCP Wiki, and that is pretty much the SCP Foundation. The whole website is run as if it was part of a website of the SCP Foundation. They
Yeah,
keep
this
very
is
in
real.
character.
Nah, It's not real,
Okay.
but they treat it as it is. I've actually
It's-
been on the website one other time to interject, and when you log onto it, it treats it as if you broke into it illegally, and a lot of it's like X'd out. You can't see in a lot of it. You have to make an account to get access to some of it.
Yes, you
And
do.
they treat it as in like this is top secret information. So they do keep up appearances everywhere you find their content. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
And it's very well done.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to get my aluminum hat on if you're gonna proceed with this. 'Cause this must be real, right?
So, SCPs, they call them skips sometimes. So if you ever go over to that website, prepare for that. They are broken down into item classes and then object classes, and then they have the description. There's quite a few of them out there. Some notable ones are as follows: SCP-049, SCP-173, 2316, and 294.
Okay, and do they have names?
Yes, SCP-049 is quite commonly known as the Plague Doctor. Let me go ahead and read you off a little bit of these 4 SCPs. SCP Item 049, Object Class Euclid. Item Description: SCP-049 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While the SCP-049 appears to be wearing the thick robes and the ceramic mask indicative of that of the profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-049's body over time, and they are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-049 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer.
So it's a giant plague doctor, or I don't know. You need to put that in freedom units, actually, because I'm sorry, I don't know meters, and I'd like to. I like 1 meter is
I wish
what,
that they
3 feet?
had it in freedom units, but it does not.
1 meter is about what, 3 feet? Is that about right?
There's 3 feet in a meter.
Okay, so it's how big was it?
1.9 meters.
So it's about what, 5'11"?
About
1.9.
yeah, 1.9 meters.
Just about 5'11". It's not 6 foot would be 2, so 5'11".
Yeah.
5'11". I'm smart. I deciphered it.
And something that makes this SCP quite creepy is he is obsessed with something he calls the plague or the illness.
Mm-hmm.
And he has tried to cure people. Now, the Foundation quite often gives him pigs, cows, things of that nature to test on. But he is always asking
For
for a
humans?
human body.
Yeah, they say it's. From what I remember, he says the pestilence is strong in them.
Yeah.
It's. I don't remember what he considers
And
that is.
At this point, I want to go ahead and give you the inception of this whole thing. I have been getting into SCP quite deeply,
Uh-huh.
and so I go to a podcast called the SCP Archives,
Yeah.
and they have an entire anthology series out on SCPs, multiple different kinds. Go check them out. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving you the watered down versions because these are incredibly huge. The articles are long and there's a lot of lore to it.
Oh yeah, there's an extreme amount. So I'm thanking you for blessing us with the knowledge of the Spark Notes.
So, do you have any questions about 049?
No, but what I do have questions about are the classes. Like you said, it was Euclid. Now, what is that?
Now, the object classes are all like warnings and how hard it is to contain said SCP.
Okay.
Safe is of course safe.
Alrighty. So the warning, they're warnings to.
On how difficult it is to contain the SCP.
Okay.
Quite literally.
Alrighty.
So safe is safe.
Mm-hmm.
Euclid is advanced and becomes difficult over time. And then Keter, which is the top,
Yeah.
they are incredibly difficult to contain and take a huge amount of effort to contain them.
Uh-huh.
So we're talking a lot of like fictional things that would be used to make a cell, like
Atoms.
like an anti-atomic filter. They put them in cages, Faraday cages,
Okay.
things like that to keep them from being able to escape. Like there are some SCPs that can escape reality,
Mm-hmm.
create new realities.
Yeah.
The list goes on, quite literally. There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
And they also, that's their dangers are too, is how dangerous they are. Usually Euclid can kill, but it doesn't mean it will.
Mm-hmm.
But Keter is going to kill
Okay.
every time.
From what I remembered when I was looking into it, I thought it said was on how it was marked. It could also be counted as how much of a world-ending event it could cause.
Now those are different. Those are different item classes. They call them.
Okay.
There's a whole array of them.
Oh,
I don't know all of them.
Okay.
There's quite a few of them. I know like there's extinction events.
Mm-hmm.
Those are considered Apollyon events.
Yeah.
And then there's like absolute reality ending events. Like I think they call those XK class events.
Okay. So that was a whole different shebangle that I got into. That was the whole bigger bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another one, which is SCP-173. This is
Peanut.
probably me and Son's favorite
Yeah.
SCP. We
I know
call him
this one.
Peanut. Object class Euclid. Description. Moved to Site 19 in 1993. Origin is as of yet unknown. It is constructed from concrete and rebar with traces of Krylon brand spray paint. SCP-173 is animate and extremely hostile. The object cannot move while within direct line of sight. Line of sight must not be broken at any time with SCP-173. Personnel assigned to enter container are instructed to alert one another before blinking. Object is reported to attack by snapping the neck at the base of the skull or by strangulation.
Okay.
In the event of an attack, yeah?
No, continue on before I go, because it might just change what I'm going to say.
In the event of an attack, personnel are to observe Class 4 hazardous object containment procedures.
Alright, that didn't really help. That needs to be put in dumb words. But they're basically the weeping angels from Doctor Who.
Yes,
Yeah, if you
essentially.
see one, you're screwed until somebody else can look at it to blink. And it's the whole don't blink.
Yeah, you can't. If you look at Peanut, you have to keep looking at him or you will die.
I actually remember, I think that's probably one of the first things that got me into it was because a lot of YouTubers back in like the 2000s, there was a game that had them in there that would chase you around if you looked away, and it was being played by them, and I wanted to know what it was from, and it made me stumble upon the whole SCP thing.
Yeah, it is pretty creepy. This one's pretty short, so I'll actually read off the special containment procedure as well, since, you said you didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Item SCP-173 is to be kept in a locked container at all times. Personnel must enter SCP-173's container. No fewer than 3 may enter at a time, and the door is to be locked behind them at all times. 2 personnel must maintain direct eye contact with SCP-173 until all personnel have vacated and relocked the container.
Oh, okay. So basically the other 2 that are put in there are just screwed forever.
No, there has to be 3. The 3 that are in there, they have to take turns.
Oh, so all 3 of them. The way you put it. So there's some specialists that are putting those 3 in there that are just, I guess, blind to the world. And then they leave and leave those 3 in there for the rest of them days. Is what I'm getting from that.
They probably just back out of the room and then lock the door.
Because my whole question
While
about it
keeping-
is because a lot of these SCPs, from what I remember, is the minute you come into contact with a lot of them, you're screwed from the get-go. A lot of them just follow you around, quote unquote, in a sense.
Some
And
of them,
that's what I get from SCP like 173 here, Peanut, is that once you've seen it, you're screwed until, because how would you get away from it ever?
that's why. Okay, so
Does
it's
it?
in containment. So
Okay.
when they need to send people in, they all go in
Okay.
single file fashion, I'm sure, and they keep their eyes on it, take care of what they have to do, and then back out of the room and lock the door, and then they're good.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
in containment.
Okay, that makes more sense. As long as it can't breach walls, is from what I'm getting.
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's what I was confused on, because a lot of these other ones that if you go and read upon them in the wiki, you'll find they're different in nature. That type of stuff won't kind
Yeah.
of work.
Yeah, some of them get rough. On the articles, the reason I don't want to read the entire article is because they get lengthy, very lengthy. They have addendums and stories and accounts and eyewitness events, pictures, the lot.
Yeah.
You just have to go onto the wiki, and you can find it all. Or you can go listen to the SCP archives. They literally read it for you.
Okay.
The next SCP I'm going to talk about is 2316.
Okay. Does it have a name?
It does not.
Okay.
it is better known as you do not know the bodies in the water,
Okay.
because that is the statement you have to tell yourself every time you see the SCP.
Okay.
By order of the Overseer Council, the following file describes a Keter-class anomalous cognitohazard and is Level 4, 2316 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. Item number 2316. Level 4, Secret. Containment class, Keter. Disruption class, Kennick. Risk class, Danger. Cognitohazard warning. The following file contains images and text that are carriers of anomalous cognitohazardous influences. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Due to this, it is imperative that all personnel accessing this file be certified as having a cognitive resistance value, CRV, of no less than 14.5. Should you fail an automated CRV verification, please remain calm and do not move. A member of your site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
And so the entire SCP is basically like a body of water with just bodies inside of them. And from what I'm getting is that it forces you to think that you know the people in the water.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So that's like a whole horror movie in itself.
Yeah, it could be. It's pretty terrifying to think that just seeing something will automatically make you think this.
That ties into the whole H.P. Lovecraft type of thing, because he was all about like the creatures, and if you look at them for too long, your sanity, you'll go insane from
Yeah,
what you're
that's-
looking at.
A lot of some SCPs will fuck with your mental. They will deteriorate your existence.
It seems a lot of them, it's what it's based off of, and I actually am extremely fond of H.P. Lovecraft's work, and the SCPs was a great way to get into a lot of it as well.
Description: SCP-2316 is the designation for an anomalous phenomenon existing within Lake Redacted, within Redacted County.
Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
SCP-2316 manifests as a group of human corpses floating in a small group at the surface of the water. The identities of these corpses are cognitohazard removed, automated change unknown, though DNA testing has been inconclusive.
It's like some weird, I don't know. There's been a lot of things I've been getting into and whatnot, especially around stuff that's kind of like this, and the whole you don't know, you do not recognize the bodies in the water. You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Yes, the whole story for it is actually pretty freaking terrifying.
There's something, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been from a podcast I was
It's a
listening
good
to,
thing you don't
or
remember.
well,
It was a
yeah.
cognitohazard.
I don't know if it was from a story or I read or something or a movie I watched, but there was the same kind of premise, and it was really cool from seeing that.
But the whole thing for 2316, this one is a personal favorite of mine, is the bodies in the water will resemble people you know, and they will call out to you.
Like a siren.
It's like a siren song, and they'll call out to you, tell you the water's fine, come in, all this and that. Eventually, the outcome usually is you end up drowning.
You become
and
another
float
body
with
in the
them.
water.
You become another body in the water.
So essentially, it's the water is the SCP. The bodies are not. The bodies,
are the SCP.
Okay, so it's the bodies itself. What I was getting at is it's the water, and the bodies are the result of it, and they just follow where the water goes. You know what I mean? Calling it their
That would
next victim.
take reading the containment procedures. I won't because it's long.
Okay.
two.
Just another brick in the wall.
Moving
That's all
on.
we are.
SCP-294. This is another personal favorite of mine.
Does that have a name, or is it another one
It does
of those?
not. It is a coffee machine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, not all SCPs are terrifying. This is considered a safe one.
Yep.
No, Euclid, but it's safe.
Than most of the Euclid ones.
Because it takes commands. Description. Item SCP-294 appears to be a standard coffee vending machine, the only noticeable difference being an entry touchpad with buttons corresponding to an English QWERTY keyboard. Upon depositing 50 cents US currency into the coin slot, the user is prompted to enter the name of any liquid using the touchpad. Upon doing so, a standard 12-ounce paper drinking cup is placed in a liquid indicated as pour. 97 initial test runs were performed, including requests for water, coffee, beer, and soda, non-consumable liquids such as sulfuric acid, wiper fluid, and motor oil, as well as substances that do not usually exist in liquid state, such as nitrogen, iron, and glass. And each one returned a success.
Oh, okay. So basically anything you can think of and it'll make it a liquid.
Yes.
It could be terrifying in itself, but
Yes. The reason they can put it as Euclid is because one of the tests they did, that's actually what the entire article is just a bunch of test results.
yeah.
One of them was blood, human blood. Dude
And-
fainted, passed out, and the entire glass was filled with human blood.
Oh. So it's getting it from somewhere.
And when it did the DNA results, it was the dude's blood.
So it's not pulling it from nothingness. It's definitely getting this stuff from somewhere.
Yes. They
That's
just don't know where.
so that's the Euclid
Unless it's
part.
told where. But
Oh, okay. So there's
like
special.
if you ask for, I'm standing next to you, and I ask the coffee pot, I would like some of Son's blood.
Oh, so that dude's blood was just power. Whatever. But okay.
So what if I took it like to Walmart and say give me some of the best deals?
It gives
will
me
give
a
you
cup
the-
of liquid best deal.
It will look for the best deal and liquefy it for you, and then put it in the cup.
It may be the best thing to happen to Walmart then.
That's
Liquefy
probably
it,
one
put
of
it
the
in the
better
cup.
SCPs because it's a joke SCP. It's lighthearted.
There's a quite actually. SCP-420 is another one of them. I don't remember what it does, but it's a joint.
Is it?
It's a joint. And then there's SCP-420J, and it's the same joint, but I think it's when it's lit and then when you smoked it, because it does two different things. I think I can't remember.
Oh, I'll
but-
have to look into it.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know
quite a
that
few
one.
different ones, and I'm pretty. There's also one that can refine materials, that I remember. It's a giant machine, and it's like a grinder. It has settings for like grinding, like fine, or I don't know how it would be, fine, finest, or finer, I guess, or something like that. And they put shit through it, and it comes out with different stuff, and it's not like it corresponds to what you put in there. You would have to look on the whole thing. It's why you're the better person to ask about these, maybe.
Yeah, they're all
But
of them are unique. They're all cool and written form. You find them on scp.wiki.com. That's where you find all of the stories. They're a good read if you like that thing.
yeah,
Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. I just wanted
And hopefully you can read.
to. True, and hopefully you can read them. Otherwise, check out that podcast,
so-
SCP Archives.
So basically, everything is taken to an extreme imagination.
Yes.
That becomes fun. If you fall into it, you can get lost. You don't have to be into really anything. If it's an easy read on top, if it's something that's required knowledge of the buzzwords and
Yeah.
terminology, I guess would be more of the
Yeah, there's a lot of
Word.
weird. They use sciencey terminology.
that's great. But if you're not, it makes it a little harder to go along with.
Yeah.
the best part about that though is that a lot of the things that you, especially if you don't want to like listen to one only or something, there's a lot of people on YouTube that also do the same thing. They'll catalog them on there. I think it's actually curated by the same people who do the podcast, to be honest, that you listen to, the SCP
Maybe.
Archives. They run you through them all. They tell you the stories and all that, but in a visual form that you can follow along with as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure you
neat.
can find a butt ton of videos of
That-
our SCPs. They're all great, and they're not all scary. So there's a little. Think you can find it on there? You probably will find it on there.
Well, that's really neat. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll take this Bubba's Corner and call it a wrap.
Alrighty. Are you a bodybuilder and you like get your body toned as hell? Well, are you sure you get your body as built as much as possible?
I don't know.
Well, with the Bodybuilder Ballsack filler, you definitely can.
How does it work?
Well, you take 3 pills before your workout, and you'll tone the fuck out of your balls, man. Do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger's toned? Well, I mean, maybe he is, but his balls sure aren't. And they could be with the Bodybuilder Ballsack filler. The Bodybuilder Ballsack filler is scientifically designed, man, to target the testosterone inside your jingle bag to get your balls as ripped as possible. It's science, man. If you think juicing's a good idea, then screw it. Try the Bodybuilder Ballsack filler. We'll make your sack a work of pure beauty. Power! Strength! Ballsack! Feeling!
Wow, what a workout. Guess I'm done.
Not so fast there, Kyle. There's also the after-workout Bodybuilder Ballsack Filler Cream.
Just because you're done working out doesn't mean your balls have to be. Just lather the cream all over your dingle jackets, and when they're all nice and creamy, you know it's working. Every day a bodybuilder disgraces his manhood, but you don't need to hear it from me. Let's get my man Larry here to explain it to you all.
Alright, see here at Larry's gym, we carry the full line of Bodybuilder's Ballsack filler products. We carry the gel along with the pills, including the varieties. Along here, you can see the difference at Larry's gym on the Ballsack filler. Just in 2 weeks, I have noticed a big difference from the cream they've been using at night, slathering it all on. You take it from me, if you want to be the full range bodybuilder, you need the Ballsack filler.
Using the Bodybuilder Ballsack filler might cause the following side effects: skin and rash irritation, liver failure, ball shrinkage, penile fractures, penile shrinkage, explosive diarrhea, memory loss, and even death.
What would you do to achieve perfection? Get to the gym now. And now it's time for everyone's favorite game show, Real or Fake Commercials, with your host, Son.
Welcome back to Real or Fake Commercials, where you decide which one's the real one and which one's the fake one. Like always, we have 2 different commercials for you to listen to, and here is the first one. Every day a family challenges the wrath of God by using unsuitable seasonings on their food. But today, for consumer use, Colonel Dash is bringing his ultimate seasonings to store shelves. You've already tasted the deliciousness of the Colonel's seasoning at popular 5-star Michelin restaurants such as Kyle's Shady Outback, Jim's Possum Barbecue, Bill's Under the Sea Seafood Shack, and Ted's Roadkill Bar and Grill. No longer must you incite fear in others with your cooking, you'll finally be the talk of the town. Get Colonel Dash's ultimate seasoning today. The Colonel seasoning is made with the finest ingredients to satiate your marvelous palate, such as oregano, garlic, sage, ground batwing, mosquito zest, minced cockroach, chopped bedbug, shaved lice, and ground botfly. Alrighty, you heard the first one. Now here is the second one. Attention all travelers and residents of tropical climates. Are you tired of dealing with the debilitating effects of malaria? Do you struggle with reoccurring chills and fevers that leave you feeling weak and drained? Look no further, because Grove Tasteless Chill Tonic is here to help. Our tonic is specifically formulated to provide fast and effective relief for the symptoms of malaria. Its tasteless formula means you can easily incorporate it into your daily routine without any unpleasant taste or aftertaste. Don't let malaria control your life any longer. Try Grove's Tasteless Chill Tonic today and experience the relief you deserve. Order now and receive a special discount on your first purchase. Don't wait. Start feeling better today with Grove's Tasteless Chill Tonic. Okie dokie, you heard both commercials. Now it's up to you to decide which one's real and which one's fake. We'll have the answer for you next episode during the DTZ News.
And that has been episode 3
This is the Coffee Bar Stories.
And we wish you a very happy holiday.
from Dad.
Son.
And Bubba.
Stories That Are Made Up podcast will be a 7-episode season. So while on break, DTZ Entertainment is going to improve and restructure the podcast. I will still do some stories, but there will be much more. There is something special coming. So for Stories That Are Made Up, your host, Dad, will see you real soon. Stories That Are Made Up is a DTZ presentation.